Welcome to another episode of delving into African politics and shamelessly retrieving the weird, morally skewed, and sometimes wonderful stories that adorn our interconnected social landscape. We do try to bring a balanced view of the news, but for the most part, we are just happy to make fun of powerful people. Welcome to The Second Take.
Win a double trolley dash in our birthday bonanza while saving on these. 5 kg top score for $59.99. 2 liter original Coca-Cola for only $19.99. 1.5 kg real good mixed chicken for just $64.99. 2 kg marathon sugar for $34.99. And 1 kg Nature's Garden mixed veg for $27.99. See the details of our incredible double trolley dash competition at www.vurmanbrock.com.
Meet Ugandan politician Honorable Evelyn Anite. When she was running for Member of Parliament for the northern town of Koboko, she came up with a brilliant idea. She decided to donate an ambulance to help ease access, especially for women, children, and the elderly, to health facilities. What a good gesture. After all, the two things you want from a politician are the ability to truly empathize with the plight of the most vulnerable and actively working to bridge the gap. It was a beautiful story until she lost the election because the minister proceeded to take the ambulance back. Now, years later, one would assume that the minister understood how disingenuous it was to take back a potentially life-saving gift. I mean, not everyone will be good at everything, and perhaps the people of Koboko felt that she was better suited as a donor than a leader. Either way, this last week on X Twitter, the page Africa Facts Online posted the story of her conditional loyalty to healthcare, and she responded by doubling down, saying, "Thank you for bringing this up. First, it's true I took back my ambulance and I have no apologies for that. Why did I do it? It's because they didn't vote for me. So did you expect me to just walk away with nothing?" Galatians 6 verse 7, she said, "A man reaps what he sows." Wow, she brought religion into it. Imagine if Jesus took back the fish and the loaves of bread, or turned the wine back into water, or pushed Lazarus back into the tomb because the people doubted him and his dad told him he would eventually be crucified. By the way, Honorable Anite was not done. Some folks tried to take her to task, and she had double doses of doubling down for each of them. When one account tweeted, "Indeed, Ugandans, we are so shameless," she responded saying, "Just like the voters, like seriously, why would you vote out someone who has given you an ambulance?" Then someone tried to appeal to her conscience, stating that if you decide to help, do so with no strings attached, to which she responded saying that it was not help, it was a conditional grant. Another person went on to call her shameless, saying that she just has the ambulance in her compound, to which she replied saying that she is shameless to the extent that she sold it. There were dozens more replies and direct, non-apologetic responses from Honorable Evelyn Anite, but the exchange that really brought it home was an account that tweeted, "So it's transactional politics." And the minister responded saying, "You mean you don't know?" Jarring as it is, it's probably good that Honorable Evelyn Anite took us behind the veil of pre-election political promises, revealing how little some politicians care about actually helping the communities that give them power. And why is she standing next to that man? Because her reward was becoming the Minister of Privatization and Investment in Uganda. More news after the break. Continuing with the news, the leader of the main opposition party in Seychelles was charged on Monday as part of an investigation into alleged witchcraft. Patrick Herminy, the head of the United Seychelles Party, who has said he plans to run in the 2025 presidential election, has denounced the move as politically motivated. Herminy, also a former Speaker of Parliament, was arrested at his party's headquarters and his office was searched before he was later released. Now, prosecutors said Herminy's name was found in a WhatsApp message exchange with a Tanzanian man who was detained in September, allegedly in possession of items linked to witchcraft, including black wooden artifacts, small bottles of brownish liquid, and documents containing language and symbols. I have questions, and don't come at me. Keep all hyenas and talking snakes at bay, please. My first question: how does one prove that someone is making use of witchcraft without testing the witchcraft itself? Because I have seen some of the objects that got this man arrested in TikTok astrology videos. And also, if he is still an opposition leader, how effective has witchcraft really been for him? At first glance, though, one would think that witchcraft accusations are a rare occurrence in politics, but that may not be the case. What if I told you that there was an African politician that earned and received over 10 degrees, was lauded for his intellect for eons, a figure celebrated for ushering in a top-notch educational system, and even he couldn't shake the witchcraft paranoia, because he once accused his right-hand man, who later succeeded him in a military coup, of consulting witch doctors about his demise. Oh, and his family refused to have him buried in the National Heroes Acre of his country because they were worried that witchcraft rituals would be performed on his brain. If you were thinking about Robert Mugabe, then Bob's your uncle. Moving on. The Commonwealth Foundation has apologized for a blunder it made on social media when it posted an image of the outline of South Africa to congratulate Botswana on the anniversary of its independence. After 80 years as a British protectorate, Botswana became an independent republic on 30 September 1966. This made Saturday the 57th anniversary of the establishment of the republic. See, this is why you don't stay close to your ex after breaking up, because time and time again, they'll do little things that remind you that they don't really see you for who you are, and there's a chance that they never did. Imagine spending all this time remembering their birthdays, showing up to the family functions, gifting diamonds every year, just to realize that they can't get their mind off Kimberly in Mzansi. Botswana, it's time to prioritize yourself, girl. Namspective after the break.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Welcome to Namspective, the segment dedicated to finding out how Namibians feel about their country, Africa, and the world. Now, Namibia has been regarded as one of Africa's shining beams when it comes to press freedom. So I spoke to our resident journalist Irene Marie van der Walt and Enzo Amwele to get their Namspectives on press freedom in Namibia.
Now more than ever in the organized press and in the organized media, which would say a media house that works through its own structure, it's really important to safeguard press freedom because everybody's got media freedom. Nowadays with social media, you can put practically anything on social media, within certain confines, but a lot of times things slip past an algorithm and don't get noticed. So I think having a media that works according to a code of ethics and conduct, being able to say what they need to say and disseminate the information that they need to disseminate, is absolutely vital, because everybody's got media freedom nowadays. Anybody can just chuck anything they want on social media and have their say, have thousands, potentially millions of people see it. But then we are sort of holding back the organized media for whatever reason. I do think within the organized media, when I look around myself, there are definitely moments where a system is being abused by certain people, but they are certainly in the minority. And I think it's as simple as just approaching that person then to say, listen, you are abusing the system. And obviously there are systems in place like the media ombudsman that people can complain to, should an organized media sort of do something wrong or do them harm. You can go to the media ombudsman. So I think we just need to have more awareness of those systems, and through that we can create a responsible media that is still free to say what they need to say and criticize as they need to criticize where it is justified.
Now, in Namibia, the country is well applauded for its press freedom. As a working journalist who sometimes finds herself getting stories directly at the court, do you feel like that is the situation?
I feel there's a lot of red tape, especially in parastatal organizations. This is something that our currently not registered union, the Namibia Media Professionals Union, is working at, is to get PROs to be more responsive. But I understand the buck only stops with a PRO. It doesn't beginning, middle, end with a PRO. There are processes that a PRO needs to go through in parastatal institutions, and that can often harm a PRO in doing their job. So I think sometimes it may be a little bit deceptive, but then I remember that there are countries where journalists are being executed for doing seemingly nothing, and there are countries where journalists are intimidated, and countries where journalists are stalked and things like that. And then I remember that, okay, maybe we do have it better. It can always be better, but then I kind of remember that it could be a whole lot worse for us.
Now, Mr. Mberi, as a practicing journalist, what has been your experience with regards to press freedom working at the North as opposed to working in Windhoek?
Well, I think the approach is really different, and press freedom is there, and you sort of have the feel. You feel different when you're in the North and in Windhoek. In Windhoek, people are welcoming. You send questions. People are they're keen to have interviews. But in the North, it's different. For example, you go to people to get a story. They're not keen to talking to you because they don't understand what media is. But in Windhoek, on the other hand, people understand what a journalist is and what they're doing and what they're capable of. Well, in the North, it was quite difficult, and it's different there. People, you have to approach people different. And one thing was the language barrier. People want to be interviewed in Shwambo, while in Windhoek, it's different. So yeah, that's my experience in short.
And with regards to access to information?
Access to information, basically information to the public or to me as a journalist.
As a journalist,
yeah. Information is sometimes it's quite hard to get information, especially from government institutions, because I don't know what goes on there, or yeah. But otherwise, when it comes to members of the public, it's easy to get information from sources. But the problem comes when it comes to institutions like municipalities and town councils, you name it. It's always difficult to get even the smallest information. People take long. Very simple question. People take like 3 weeks to respond to you, and then sometimes you have to publish a story without really balancing and getting both sides of the story, because these people take long to respond to you.
All right. Now, as a journalist practicing in Namibia, do you feel that press freedom is well applied? In general?
Yes, in general, I think it is well applied, because then we have so much access to these big guys, to ministers and people who need to respond to us. It's compared to other countries. Personally, I've been in China, and if I have to contrast and compare that, in China, it's not as easy as it is in Namibia to interview a minister. You have to go through a lot of channels. Here in Namibia, it's quite easy. I can literally take my phone today, call a minister, and then he will respond. Mm-hmm. So I think it is applied. It is probably not 100%, but it is being applied.
So would you say it's easier to get a minister than it is to just get information from an institution.
Yes, because from what I've noticed currently, because from my understanding, you have the PRO that is the spokesperson of the institution and the executive director, but then mostly they are nowhere to be found, or it's hard to get to them. Then you have to speak to the minister, which is not supposed to be the case. Yeah,
All right. Thank you, Enzo.
no problem.
Well, those are their perspectives, and we'd love to find out yours. So feel free to comment on our social media pages, telling us how you feel about the state of press freedom in Namibia. Heartwarming moment of the week after the break.
Welkom julle, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor Gooi Kolle. Dit is donderdagse sportstrip nou. Einde van hierdie programma zal ik en hoe om Frans te praten. Je m'appelle? Je bent?
Le jour.
Tu as reçu mijn kool.
Is dit nou onderbroek?
Blijf geschakeld, we zien jullie weer vrijdag volgende week.
Gooi kool!
Gooi kool!
Senegalese writing duo Mame Bogoma Dieng and Wapa Diallo have won this year's prestigious Cane Prize for African Writing, making it the first time a pair has won the award. The story is simply my life. It's the struggles I've been going through that have inspired me, Diallo told the BBC. It was praised for its deep storytelling and ability to celebrate love while also addressing pressing global issues. The couple told BBC's Newsday program that the story was written in 6 days in an almost possessed state and was a powerful collaboration between the two. The co-authoring comes from the fact that the story could not have been written if I hadn't met Wapa and if I hadn't heard Wapa speak, Dieng says. Now, he added that while it was an honor to win the award, it means so much more to win as a family along with their daughter. You win this prize, then you're back at the hotel changing diapers and preparing baby bottles. It's a great reality check. It keeps you humble. A truly beautiful story, and we love seeing African families winning, especially when it doesn't involve depleting a nation's natural resources. TikTok of the week after the break.
Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad bit. What? This is what you call a bad bit. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad bit. What? This is what you call a bad bit. Looks a little bit like I can't.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Africans have had to endure a lot. Yes, there is much to celebrate in our journey, but sometimes the going gets tough and all we can really do is laugh. Here is a TikTok by Lee_Loxy exploring the common reality that South Africans and indeed many other Africans experience on a day-to-day basis in her own humorous way. Enjoy.
From the makers of load shedding comes a new product in partnership with unemployment, sponsored by crime, in collaboration with corruption, comes a new product for you and me, for all South Africans. El Depression, life is rice.
Listen, it's funny because it's true. See you soon.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
Protecting press freedom is akin to safeguarding the lifeblood of democracy itself. It forms the bedrock of an informed and engaged society, empowering citizens with the ability to access diverse, accurate, and unfiltered information. It acts as a powerful deterrent against corruption, abuse of power, and the erosion of democratic values. Without this freedom, the vital checks and balances that hold authorities accountable would be weakened, potentially plunging societies into darkness. Basically, when it comes to protecting the people that are devoted to bringing truth to light, don't be ESCOM. My name is Ashwyn Mberi, and that is The Second Take.